How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the PilotPatriot channel. This is part 2 of the Truck EDC and Daily Driver Bug Out Build series. In the last video, we did a full walk around of the outside of the truck. We looked at all the accessories and modifications that I've done to this truck, as well as everything on the inside of the truck, all the EDC items that I keep in there at all times to help be more prepared, not just for everyday situations, but also for emergency situations as well. So if you haven't seen that video, I will put a link to that right here at the top of the screen. But in this video, we're going to be taking a look inside the truck bed and the toolbox where most of the tools and emergency gear are stored, so make sure you stay tuned. All right, guys, now outside of your regular emergency stuff like jumper cables and a jack, most people really neglect a lot of preparedness items that they could keep in their truck because let's face it, you can have all the preparations you want at home, but when you're away from home and all you have is your vehicle, what you have stored right here could be all that you have to get by. So inside my truck bed, I have several different accessories and storage options for storing emergency gear and preparedness items. So we're going to take a look at all of that as well as my tonneau cover and toolbox. But first, guys, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that notification bell, and give us a thumbs up. First thing I want to talk about here is my tonneau cover and toolbox combo. This is the American work cover from Truck Covers USA. This thing is a super heavy duty aluminum retractable tonneau cover with an integrated toolbox. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've always been a toolbox guy. I've had a toolbox on all of my trucks, but I really also wanted the protection and security of a tonneau cover. And there's just really not a lot of options out there for that until I came across Truck Covers USA. The way this works is you have all the storage capacity and functionality of a regular truck toolbox, but down in the bottom there's a canister where your tonneau cover retracts into. So with that tonneau cover open, you still have full access to the entire capacity of your truck bed. So as we get into this stuff, guys, I'm not going to go into too much detail on each individual item. This is going to be more of a show and tell just to show you what kind of stuff I have and to give you some ideas of how you can be more prepared in your vehicle. So let's get right into it. Again, covering the whole truck bed is my retractable tonneau cover from Truck Covers USA. This thing is super high quality and it adds a lot of protection and security to everything I have in the truck bed. After over a year of use, I can safely say this thing is completely waterproof. With it closed, I have never had any leaking on the inside of my truck bed. So anything you have back here is going to be totally protected. The tonneau cover and toolbox are also locking to keep everything secure on the inside so you don't have to worry about theft and anything like that. And one really awesome feature of the American work cover from Truck Covers USA is that you can lock and unlock this with the key fob on your truck keys. So to get this thing open, we just pull the release and then it really easily retracts all the way back into the bottom of that toolbox, leaving you full access to the bed of your truck. It also has a pull strap here. I have mine secured over to the side, but this gives you easy access from the tailgate to pull it back and lock it. You can cover everything else, but leave one spot open. Couple things you'll notice right here off the bat, I have the Rough Country bed mat. This is a really heavy duty bed mat that helps protect the bed of my truck, but also adds a little traction so when I put stuff back here, it's not sliding around. This thing's also really easy to remove and spray off anytime you need to clean it. You'll also notice I have these Molly bed panels from Built Right Industries. These are metal Molly panels that secure to the side of your truck bed. Basically what this does is allows you to mount accessories to the sidewall of your truck bed to keep them up and out of the way so they're not rolling around in your truck bed. Over here on my passenger side, I have a 3-gallon Rotopax fuel can, and this does have the locking Rotopax mount on there so I can lock this up and I don't have to worry about it getting stolen. Right behind that, I have a small marine and automotive fire extinguisher mounted here with a quick fist. So if I have any type of fire emergency or anything like that, I'm prepared to put that out. And I like this because I can mount things here on the side, but I'm not taking up the middle part of my truck bed if I need to haul plywood or large items or things like that. And I also still have access to my tie down locations. Over here on the driver's side, I have a swing out storage case. This thing is really nice and it gives me quick, easy access to a lot of items from right here at the tailgate without having to climb up in the truck bed to get to everything. This case is lockable right here on top. But to get into it, all you need to do is rotate that and she opens right up. Inside of this case is where I'm going to keep a lot of my ratchet straps, bungee cords, and things like that. Things that I might need quick access to. So in the top tray here, I have zip ties, small bungee cords, some tarp tie downs. And I have the lock for this case, and this case is removable from the truck bed, but you can lock it so it's not removable, so I keep that in here. I have some marking tape. I have several different types of Velcro strapping. I use this a lot for organizing my ratchet straps and other items like that. That comes in handy quite a bit. And then I keep extra hitch pins and trailer pins because I'm always losing those things, and I like having extras on hand. Down here on the end is where I keep all of my ratchet straps. I try to keep these as organized as I can. And again, these little Velcro straps make it really easy to roll these up and keep them secured and try to help you be a little bit more organized so this doesn't all get tangled up in here. And then down at this end, I also have all of my bungee cords also secured with that little Velcro strapping. Down here in the deeper main compartment, I have a locking cable if I need to lock something up in my truck. I have a shackle here from Rhino USA. This goes into the hitch of your truck, and you can use this shackle for recovery. This is really going to be the safest way to fix a tow strap or anything like that to your truck, so I like to keep that on hand. Also down in here, the hitch on my truck is a 2.5-inch hitch, but a lot of accessories for truck hitches are 2-inch, so this is just a little adapter to go from 2.5 to 2-inch. Also down in here, I have a pouch with all the accessories for my Yakima bed rack. We talked a lot about that Yakima bed rack in part 1 of this series, so if you haven't seen that, make sure you check that out. Also in here, I keep a nice heavy-duty tow strap from Rhino USA in case I'm stuck and need to get pulled out or towed, or if I need to pull out or tow someone else. And then also down in here, I just keep a high-vis vest if I find myself on the side of the road changing a tire or something like that. It's nice to have a high-vis vest, especially if you're doing something like that at night. And that is it for the swing out storage case. And then when you're done with this thing, it just swings back out of the way and locks. And then back here behind that swing case, I have another Built-Right Molly panel. So if I have any low profile items that I want to fix to this, I can still do that. Or as I mentioned, this swing case is removable. So if I was to remove the swing case for any reason, I'd still have access to this Molly panel for securing things here to the side of the truck. And then up here at the top of that is an accessory that I really like. This is the Bed Buddy. So basically this is just a hook for if you need to get to something at the back of your truck bed. This is a retractable hook that extends and it gives you easy access from right here at the tailgate to reach back and grab something at the front of the truck bed without having to climb up in there. This thing is awesome, and I will have a link to this as well as everything else we're talking about here today in the description below. And then when you're done using the Bed Buddy, it just mounts back up here using magnets. Another great storage solution is these heavy-duty front runner storage cases that I have slid up underneath my toolbox. You can keep a lot of stuff in those things, so let's get in there and check those out. These storage cases from Front Runner are super heavy duty, and the storage possibilities are endless with these things. So let's take a look at what I have here in the first one. Here in this first one is where I store my Get Home bag. Now I have done a full video on everything that I have here in this Get Home bag. This is a self-contained survival kit designed to get me home no matter where I am. This bag is designed for me to be able to survive off of nothing but what is in this bag for several days. It's similar to a bug out bag, but the main purpose of a bag like this is to get me from wherever I am back home. And again, I have done a full video on everything that's inside this. And if you haven't seen that, I'll put a link right here at the top of the screen. Now let's take a look at what's in case number 2. Inside of this case is going to be mostly camping and survival items. So if you watch part 1 of this video, you'll notice I have a rooftop tent up here. So I have built out this truck with the capability of living out of it if I have to, especially in emergency situations. This box is built out to help me survive out of just what's in my truck for several days. So let's take a look at what's inside here. This first one is just one of those generic survival tool kits that you can get pretty much anywhere. It has a folding camp shovel and a lot of attachments for that, from fire starting to spear to flashlight to hammer, axe, a lot of different things. This particular one is not the most high quality one in the world, but it would definitely come in handy if I needed it. Also in here, I just have a generic outdoor first aid kit with your regular boo-boo kit items, Band-Aids, antiseptic wipes, medicines, gauze, ice pack, things like that. I also have a more extensive medical kit inside the truck. I have 100 foot of paracord coiled up here on the paracord buddy. This has a way to hang it, a way to cut the paracord, and a spot for a small big lighter, which has obviously fallen out somewhere down in the bottom of this box. Also have a roll of duct tape. Obviously the uses for something like that are endless. I have a vacuum sealed full roll of toilet paper because when you need to go, you need to go, and this is a whole lot better than using leaves. I have a small fire kit here. This is going to have stormproof matches, several different fire starters, a Bic lighter, a ferrocerium rod, and several different fire starting items here in this waterproof case. I have 3 liters of drinking water, a couple contractor trash bags, a high lumen but inexpensive flashlight. I have 4 different packs of Mountain House meals here. Each of these is 2 servings. So at least I could last 4 days off of this. And in a pinch, I could make this stretch for 8 days or longer. I have a pack of wet wipes, a large pack of hot hands, a Camp Cook set, and I also have a Sawyer Mini water filter down in there. I have a small camp lantern, a couple 1-pound canisters of propane. I have a couple propane cookers that I could use along with this. And then I have a small sleeping bag and 2-person hammock. And that's it for case number 2, guys. Now keep in mind, this is stuff that I keep in my truck 24/7, 365 days a year. So as far as preparedness goes, I could easily live out of this truck for several days if I needed to. Now let's get up here and take a look at where all my tools and vehicle emergency stuff lives, and that's in the toolbox. Now let's take a look here inside the toolbox. And of course, what grown man doesn't love stickers? So we'll start here on the left side of the toolbox and just take a look at everything I have. So over here on the left side, I have a small funnel. This makes it a lot easier anytime you need to fill your gas tank from a gas can. I have a long stem lighter. Those come in handy quite a bit. A pair of safety glasses, a large high lumen flashlight, and a headlamp, because there's a lot of things you need a light for that you also need your hands available. So having a good headlamp, I think, is a must. And in this toolbox, there's a shallow tray here that runs the full length of the toolbox for smaller items, and then a much deeper tray here in the back for larger items. So right up here, I have a box of nitrile gloves. And then I have a container of utility rope. This has a tensile strength of 1,100 pounds. And this comes in handy a lot just for tying things up, and really anything you could use a little bit of rope for. I find myself using Velcro a lot, so I have some industrial strength Velcro that I keep in here. I have another one of these paracord reels, a little bit more accessible than the other one. Moving on down, I have a small magnetic tray. Anytime I'm dealing with small parts or screws or anything like that, this is nice to have. I have a set of skinning knives. I do a lot of hunting, so whether it be deer hunting or duck hunting, or just anything you might need a good sharp knife for, this is nice to have. Also have the Gerber machete here. This thing comes in handy quite a bit for clearing brush, making trails, things like that. And along those same lines, I have a Fiskars folding saw. Moving on down here in this tray, I have a big hank of heavy-duty rope. I have a small container here with backup fuses and fuse puller, fuse tester, and things like that for my truck. I have a tire repair kit for repairing flats or leaky tires. Then I have a tire gauge and tire deflation tool. And a seal cock key. If you're not familiar with what these are, if you find yourself in any kind of urban area, which I'm not very often, but if you need access to water, most public buildings and businesses, you have to have a special tool to get access to their outdoor water faucets. So that's a tool for getting into that. And then I have a couple tools here for getting into a locked vehicle. So I have a Slim Jim here, and then I have one of these airbag systems that you kind of slide into the crack of the door, and then you can inflate it to make a crack in that door, and then you just slide your Slim Jim in to get down in there. I am not a criminal, guys. This is just for if myself or friends lock a key in a vehicle. Also down here on this end, I have just some small Ziploc bags and contractor trash bags. Now let's move on to the back section. So back here I have the Gulu 4000S power bank and jump starter. When you have a large engine on your vehicle like mine, the 7.3, you need a really heavy duty jump starter. And this one from Gulu has been awesome. I've used it several times for myself and for other vehicles, and it's still going strong. I'm actually still on the very first charge. So this thing will last for a very long time, and of course it's going to come with your jumper cables and all the attachments needed for jump starting a vehicle. This also makes a pretty impressive power bank if you need power for charging different things. Down below that I have a ammo can. This is going to be some roadside assistance type items. I have another high-vis vest, some glow sticks, a flare gun, so if I find myself off the beaten path and I need assistance, I'll have this in case I need it. I have several regular or old road flares, as well as a couple fire starters, and then some of these expandable cleaning cloths that came in an emergency kit. Back behind that, I have some good heavy-duty jumper cables for any situation where that jump starter might be dead, or if I need to loan these to somebody or something like that, I have a set of good long heavy-duty jumper cables. I also have a siphon hose here for siphoning fuel if I need to siphon fuel out of a gas can or out of another vehicle or anything like that. This is a really cool siphon hose. It just has this little jiggle thing on the end. You drop that down into the gas tank, give it a couple shakes, and the fuel just starts flowing. And then back behind that, I have one of these four-sided tire irons. Now, along those same lines of roadside assistance, I have these little battery-powered puck lights. These things are little flashing lights that you can put out on the side of the road. It's basically operates like a road flare, but they do have magnets on the back. They're rechargeable and reusable. So there's 4 of these in this kit, and these are great for any time you find yourself on the side of the road and you need to alert other vehicles to your location. Moving on down, I have a 50-foot extension cord because there's a lot of times you find yourself in need of an extension cord, and it's just nice to have one of these on hand. Down below that, I have a vacuum sealed roll of toilet paper. This is a little more accessible than the one I have in that other kit. Also down in here is a set of track grabbers. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these things before, but it's pretty impressive. It's basically just a strap that goes around your tire, and it has this big rubber block on it. So if you find yourself stuck in mud and you're just not getting any traction, you can strap this onto your tire, and as your tire spins, every time this rubber block hits the ground, it grabs and it just gives you a little bit more traction. So if you find yourself stuck and there's nobody else around, this can be a great way to get yourself unstuck. And back behind that, in this case, is an impact wrench. So if you watch part 1 of this series, you'll know that I have an onboard air system here on my truck. So if I ever needed to change a tire, I can hook into my air line here with my impact wrench, and I can quickly and easily change that tire. So this paired with that onboard air system is really awesome, especially if you find yourself on the side of the road with a flat tire. Now, along those same lines, moving on down, are the accessories for that Viair onboard air system. I have 2 30-foot air hoses, as well as an inflation tool down in here. Down below all that, I have the snatch rope from Rhino USA. Now, this is not a tow strap. This is designed to hook up to another vehicle and jerk you out of whatever stuck situation you find yourself in without damaging your vehicle. So the way this rope works is you're going to attach to both vehicles using these soft shackles here, also from Rhino USA. And as the other vehicle pulls, this rope expands and then jerks you back out of whatever stuck situation you're in. When you find yourself in a really stuck situation, this is really the only way to go. This thing has a working load of 11,500 pounds and a brake strength of almost 35,000 pounds. Again, I'm gonna have a link to this as well as everything else we're talking about in the description below. All right, now back behind that is just a Husky socket wrench set. This is an oldie but a goodie. I've had this in my trucks for 10 years now and it's never failed me. It's kind of a small kit, but it definitely gets the job done when you need a good socket wrench set. Moving on down here to the other side, I have a pull-out tool bag. This is for my most used tools. I like having it in a bag because I can just pull it out of here and grab and go. But just to look down inside here, I have a small tool roll with wrenches, pliers, channel locks, and all of that good stuff. I really like having it here in a roll to keep it nice and organized. Now, in my truck, I don't keep the most high quality tools, just in case for some reason it was to get broken into or something like that. I'm not losing some big high dollar snap-on tools or something like that. Also down in here is a tape measure, roll of duct tape, painter's tape, a small magnetic level, some Allen wrenches, a good pair of high-vis gloves, staple gun, some nice leather work gloves. And instead of having several different screwdrivers here in my kit, I think for your truck, having something like this makes a lot more sense. This is a ratcheting screwdriver and it just has all the different bits that you might need. This kit also has a little magnetic wand thing for picking up dropped screws and stuff like that. I have a small crowbar and prying tool. One of these long little grabber things, some electrical tape, some JB Weld. This stuff comes in handy a lot, and some WD-40. On the outside here, I have a large Sharpie marker and a small little X-Acto knife. And that's pretty much it for the tool bag. Down below that, I have my DeWalt drill and driver. It's nice to have power tools here in your truck. This stays in here all the time. I also have a small set of commonly used bits and also an extra battery and charger down in there. Down below that in the bottom, I have a set of bolt cutters and a good heavy duty tarp. Then down here back on the end where we started, I have a can of Fix-A-Flat and then a giant thing of zip ties because zip ties are awesome. All right guys, that is it for everything I have here in the bed of my truck and in the toolbox. I hope this series has helped you out guys and given you some ideas on ways you can be more prepared in your vehicle. If I left anything out or if there's things you think I should do different or things I need to take away, make sure you let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to get your input on that stuff. But just keep in mind guys, whenever you're preparing for emergency situations, don't get caught up focusing all your attention on preparations in your house. Keep in mind that a lot of us are away from home more than we're at home, and your vehicle is with you pretty much 90% of the time. So making sure your vehicle is prepared for everyday situations and emergency situations is something that you really need to be thinking about. Don't forget guys, I will have links to everything we talked about in this video linked in the description below, so make sure you check that out. And that wraps up our Truck EDC and bug out build video. Thanks for watching guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, and stay prepared.